Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nasholes, the podcast where two assholes who like to think they know a thing or two about NASCAR talk about NASCAR. I'm Benny B, joined alongside my very good friend, Drew the Man, Scar Van. Drew,
Hi, Mom.
we just had a race in Nashville, guitars and fast cars, and this was the fastest one, baby. Ryan Blaney, man, gets it done. I can't believe that I was wearing this shirt, and he just happens to be running the Cardell cabinetry, the same exact paint scheme, man.
Makes it even more special.
It's amazing, dude. But yeah, dude, we had some little concrete racing there in Nashville, buddy, at the Cracker Barrel 400.
Didn't disappoint.
No, I mean,
full of fun, interesting moments.
Yeah. You know, Drew, I learned a lot about concrete, and that is due to Prime. They just do, man. They just like kill it every week, and they explained it so well. You had Concrete Carl coming on there talking about how it is and what you need to do to succeed on a concrete track. And man, I just love that. As somebody like me who isn't, as versed as you in NASCAR, I get to learn more every week because of them.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I am schmuck at information. I act like I'm not, but I totally am. I only really remember shit that's relevant to the race. Other than that, it's got to be different for me to retain it in my memory.
Yeah.
But Nashville didn't disappoint. Well, I mean, it kind of did, but it didn't though. I thought the racing was going to get a little bit close at the end, but
I did too.
Blaney kind of just drove away, and I was really hoping a caution or something would come out because I just wanted to see Hocevar just get the shot.
Well, you know what, dude? I was kind of afraid that as a Blaney fan, just the way it's gone for him. I was sitting there. I was sitting there calm because I know just the way it's been. I was like, all right, we're just gonna whatever happens. Because I for some reason in the back of my mind I was like, there's gonna be a caution and it's gonna scare him. But we didn't get that caution.
Yeah, I think that runs through every NASCAR fan's mind when their favorite driver's leading or one of their favorite drivers.
Yeah.
So,
but man, Hocevar though, dude, he was mowing him down, man.
Spinhouse is pretty miffed at him, but.
Well, what's your take on that, Drew? Because
I fucking love it. I'll just say it. I fucking love it. I've been hearing a lot of people comparing him to Dale Earnhardt on the level of aggression and speed he's got right now.
Even Dale Jr. said that he reminds him of his dad a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's the next Intimidator, but he's almost kind of like a throwback driver, if you will. Because especially too, Earnhardt he ran through some people, but not a lot of folks paid him back. And for whatever reason, I got a feeling that might be the case with Hocevar. He might just make all these enemies, but they might not pay him back. Who knows? Well, Spinhouse is known to follow through with his threats, as last year's All-Star race shows, except this time now he knows not to let his fist do the talking because it's expensive.
Yep.
So I'm not going to be surprised if we see Hocevar dumped within the next 5 races by
Well, here's the thing, Drew, is about him. We've known Hocevar to be aggressive. This wasn't the first time, right? But the thing about it, and the Prime guys explain this, and it's he does this, and then people say, oh, it's gonna come back to him, but then they never do anything about it. So okay, that's fine. You can complain and say he's not racing fair or whatever, he's being too aggressive. Okay, then do something about it. I'm tired of hearing everybody oh, he's got it coming, and then they never do anything.
Well, the analysts are just trying to build up drama, keep people tuned in. So the situation with that is, all right, let's say Ricky does dump Hocevar within the next handful of races. NASCAR is going to know it's premeditated, and they're going to slap him with a fat fucking phone.
Well, and plus they have the SMT data. They're going to pretty easily know that.
Well, yeah.
And I get that, but I guess the only way really is if you get the right place, the right time to make it. I guess maybe just the only way you can do is to push him up the track, and basically cause him to do it to himself.
Yeah, it's. Well, I was going to say, SMT is the smoking gun. That's kind of what got Austin Dillon excluded from the playoffs, unless he were to win another race. When he had his little moment at Richmond, which was almost a phenomenal moment, in my eyes. And then he went and did that shit, which at least, I was pretty upset about it for a while, but he owns it and kind of jokes about it. So it's like, all right, at least he knows he's not hiding what he did,
Yeah.
like some people who've done that and just go. So.
Well, my thing was that, and even Dale Jr. said this too. It's like after Carson didn't really own it. Like he's just like, well, I'll have to go look at it. I don't really know what happened, but
Well, the
I
thing
mean,
too
it's
is
so clear that he just didn't give it to him, man. Like he just kind of went right into the left rear.
Well, yeah, and it's like, well, shit. Some people were even saying it was Hocevar was kind of making it look like Stenhouse didn't give him any other option, but it's like, dude, you kind of just drove through the guy. It was like early in the race too when he did it.
And then he did it, and then he acted like, oh, I need to go watch it back. Like, bro, you know what you did.
I don't know, man. If he's like me and it's like ADHD, he probably genuinely doesn't remember it. And he probably just like acted in the moment, and then he kind of just put it in the back of his head and just moved forward.
I wouldn't even have minded though, Drew, if Hocevar just kind of like was just like, yeah, I did that. Like this is NASCAR, this is the Cup Series, and I have to do whatever it takes to win. Now, granted, what he did, I don't think would have resulted in him being better or worse, but I don't know. But we go back to like the implications of if Ricky Stenhouse does something. I mean, the dude is sitting at so he's what?
Going into Sunday though, he was like 13th, so he was above the cut line. So that finish really fucked up.
Well, yes, but what I'm getting at is that like I don't think he can afford to do something to Hocevar intentionally. Being how close he is to the over the cut line.
Well, I mean, got a point there, but I don't know. Like I said, Stenhouse has a history of following through, and I think he's going to do it.
That he does.
But even if you remove him and you place in another driver, I mean, man, who did he piss off at Atlanta earlier in the year? Blaney. Remember Blaney went up to him and was pretty upset with how he got raced. Chastain gave him a stern talking to, like a pissed off older brother or something like that, and then declined to comment on what he said. And sidebar, the more I think about that, the more I think Chastain was like, all right, I'm going to act like I'm pissed off at you, but you raced your ass off out there, and I fucking loved it. But you need to act like you're so upset.
Dude, I never thought about that.
Because
Chastain was the same exact way.
Yeah, dude. And like they have, what was it? They both raced for Al Nice down in the Truck Series. Both of them got wins for that team, and they both share a pretty aggressive driving style. I mean, just a handful of years ago, Chastain was in the news for the same reasons. He's just driving through people left and right. And, he kind of put the kibosh on that when Rick Hendrick kind of talked to him. Rick Hendrick's the owner of the engine manufacturer that Trackhouse uses. So, he kind of had to smooth that relationship over before they start getting, second-rate engines from that team. Like really used engines, like the ones that barely survive a race.
Right, blow up.
So, and I mean, and with Chastain too, everybody was saying they were gonna do something about it. And Denny Hamlin did something about it like a year or two ago. I mean, man, I forget which track it was. But I really want to say Dover. I don't know. It was maybe Darlington. I can't recall.
I don't know why, but Hamlin, Dover sounds right.
So and Hamlin, he was gonna fall back, and he was like, "Well, I'm not going alone," and he purposely took Chastain with him, And then Chastain walked to him after the race. He was like, "Yeah, I had that coming, didn't I?" And then because they worked it out, and ever since then they've been cool with each other.
Yeah.
So, it's been known to happen in the last few years. So I mean, who knows? I mean, shit. I think Denny Hamlin even said in this last episode, if Carson did something like that to him, he's definitely going to repay it, which he hasn't. He has a history of doing. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you just have to be, you have to be right by him when, when the opportunity presents itself, and you can, make it look not intentional.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can. You can look all you want, but
everyone knows.
If the data
knows.
shows that you purposely accelerated and drove someone into a wall.
Well, even without that, if we don't have that, I mean, you already know, because he's gonna he says in the interview or whatever he says, it's just like everybody, it's so obvious, but yeah, man, Hocevar, very, very impressive dude. He's just one of the young rising stars. I think if he had a few more laps, I think he could. But the problem at the end of that race there, he had the lap traffic, and it was just it's on that track, dude. It was so hard to do anything with dirty air, man. I mean, even you saw Priest, just for the simple fact that there was too much dirty air. He like spun out. It's
Yeah. Well,
just
and the
not
thing
quite.
too was, I think Blaney just kind of outdrove Carson at the end as well. Because I mean, oh man, I don't remember the exact lap, but there was at one point where Hocevar had the speed over Blaney, and he was kind of stuck in lap traffic, and like he was chewing away at the clock. But I don't know if it was by his own decision or if his car kind of just gave out on him. But he kind of started to fall back, and like I said, I can't say for certain he did this, but he might have just said, "All right, we got a second place. If we can see this through to the end, that's pretty good for a sophomore driver."
Well, yeah, and that's what I thought too, Drew. Is like he's not gonna ruin the second place. Like I mean, like
Yeah,
that's good points right there.
yeah. I mean, that's what 9 playoff points if you finish second in at the final
I'm
end of the
not
race.
sure actually.
I don't recall, but I mean that's still a good amount of points though. That's to look forward to.
But yeah, man.
And
Let's. So I thought the best part of the race to me, the most exciting part was when you had Hamlin and Byron going at it side by side. Blaney's coming up behind him, and he's just kind of like he's like trying to figure out. He's like I can't. He's like, and he explained in the post race interview. He's like, I was just trying to find somewhere to go and find somewhat of clean air, and he kind of went in between them, and then they went up the track, and he just went, and he almost was able to just go right past him on the inside, but he explained, he's like, I wanted to, but I knew if I did that, it was going to be stupid. But I thought that part of the race, man, that was a fun part of the race where he eventually ended up passing the both of them because they were dicking around with each other.
well, and the thing too is like Blaney has had the speed all year.
All year, oh, absolutely.
But usually something happens when he's
blown
doing
engine.
really good.
He's had stuff that's out of his control. Guys being stupid.
Yeah, getting caught up in rants, shit like that.
But it was, man, it was like you watch the post race for him, and it wasn't even. I'm not going to say it wasn't excitement, but it was more of relief than it was excitement because, like, man, just to go through what he has already this year and to finally get that freaking win, man, not have a DNF or some stupid crap happen to him, it's just got to be such a sigh of relief. And so I understand why it looked that way.
Well, I mean, there was some excitement. I mean, shit, we got the rare Ryan Blaney burnout, kind of, sort of. I mean, it wasn't. Look,
it was cool.
Post race show, Ray LaJoy told him to call heads or tails, and he chooses right. He'll put him at the top of the burnout chart.
I saw that, and he did.
He guessed right. I was like, God damn it, Corey LaJoy, stop giving me reasons to be upset with you.
Like, that was actually stupid, I'm not going to lie. Like, what? No, you just rate it based on what you actually think, and not a freaking coin flip.
Yeah.
But
God damn it, Corey LaJoy. But you know what? That could probably move us to like a new topic, which is Corey LaJoy is making select Truck Series starts later this year.
Yes, I was going to get to that.
Yeah,
I believe. Let me pull this up.
That motherfucker goes and shit talks the series in the postseason of last season, and now he's going to go down there.
You have to fill me in because I didn't hear him. I didn't hear what he said, but I saw somebody like this is somebody was like, this is hilarious after his comments earlier.
No, he said he didn't want to race Truck or Xfinity because he doesn't want to race in front of 5 to 10 people in the grandstands. Like he turned down the 19.
That's just not something that you should say, to be honest.
Well, especially because his dad's a 2-time Xfinity Series champion too. So like
right.
And now you're making select starts for the team that cut you from their Cup Series or their Cup Series program last year. Like that's it. I don't know. Look, I love Corey LaJoy, the commentator. He is a great commentator. Outside of that dumbass putting Blaney at the number 1 slot
for a coin flip,
especially after fucking Chastain's sick ass burnout down in Charlotte. But dude, Corey the driver just makes me want to drive my head through concrete so bad, man. Like I just pisses me.
Yeah.
You're gonna motherfuck the Truck Series, and then you're gonna be like, oh hey, I'm gonna make select starts.
Now, to be honest, Drew, the only way he can get himself out of this mess is if he actually wins.
I doubt it.
With his comments. Well, you're right. It doesn't fully, but anyways,
I don't know. I mean, look, Daniel Heinrich's down in that 19 truck, and he's doing a lot better than I thought he would. I mean, he got a legit win too early this year. So,
yeah.
I guess it's not impossible because Heinrich was pretty much like a one-hit wonder in Xfinity. He barely won his championship after getting 0 wins in the season and pointing his way into the playoffs. He showed that there is sort of flaws in the system for play just by doing that.
Yeah, he was pitiful in Cup.
It's not good.
Yeah. But yeah, Drew, 9 of the final 13 races, and his first one will be this weekend at Michigan. So I guess we will
Nice.
be keeping an eye on that. I mean, I don't really watch truck a whole lot, but I might tune in just to see Corey LaCrash.
Yeah.
But shoot, I was gonna talk about Bubba Wallace, man. This is a guy who the last month has just been horrendous. I mean, just finishing in the 30s the last month, and to get that top 10, and you could tell how much it meant to him, man, and the post
Oh my
race,
God, yeah.
and talking about his son, which I thought was really cool.
It's insane the amount of haters he still has out there. Like, I saw somebody.
I genuinely don't get it, man.
Well, I mean, we'll just be honest. Like, half of his haters don't like him just because he's black. It's the same people that are like, bring back the Confederate flag. It's like, no, you fucking idiots lost that war.
That's probably
And
so.
like, you
That's
fought that
probably
war
accurate.
over owning like an entire like race of people. It's fucking stupid. That's kind of like Germany like still waving a Nazi flag around after World War II.
Well,
It's like,
and I think another thing
no, you
is
guys were
that
the bad people in that conflict.
yeah, dude.
And the
I mean,
the other part of it is just he was a very whiny driver, for the longest time.
But
Then
he
the
is
last couple
so
of years,
different now.
Yeah, in the last couple of years, he's changed a lot.
I
he
don't.
doesn't let his emotions get the better of him. You don't see him like intentionally crashing Kyle Larson and then going up to him and like trying to start a shoving battle with him right after he dumps him. Like, you don't see that shit anymore. Like this Bubba Wallace is like a different Bubba Wallace. But all these people that hate him for either their very fucking dumb reasons of just because he's black or because they think he's a whiny guy, it's like, no, he's like a different dude now. Like, being a dad's clearly changed the guy.
Yeah.
And he doesn't let his emotions like get the better of him or anything like that. So, but well, I was gonna say somebody commented on, I don't know if Bubba Wallace posted it or not, but I saw a photo somewhere, him going to Ryan Blaney up in Victory Lane, just congratulating him, and there's like people underneath it being like, "Typical Bubba needs the spotlight on him," and goes and steals Ryan Blaney's moment.
Come on, they're friends, dude.
I was like, dude, they're like best friends. Like,
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But yeah, I mean, this was huge for him, and like, I will say, obviously, if you look at the standings, like he is technically, if the playoffs started today, he'd be in on points. I don't know if that was the case before this race, but as I'm looking at it right now, he is in 12th. So, I mean, this gave him a pretty good jump, I would imagine, from wherever he was. I can't really find that information.
Now we just kind of got to hope that he can keep up the good finishes, or at the very least,
and that's
being
been
able
the
to finish
problem. And I think, honestly, I feel like 2311 has struggled a bit.
A bit, yeah. Well, I mean, Tyler Reddick's been the better of the three drivers. I mean, Riley Herbst is kind of just a field filler this year, it seems. Like he's and it's his rookie year. We shouldn't expect him to go out there and fucking turn heads or anything. But it just hasn't been just haven't fired off the best. Yeah, I mean, Tyler Reddick not doing as hot either. And same was going for Wallace. So. But I think the team's slowly starting to like turn around, and
Reddick's not horrible either.
No,
we're not saying that, but
he is.
It's not what we're used to.
Yeah,
right now.
I was gonna say he's a little. Compared to last season, he's a little sluggish, at least to me. But that's not anything on him. I think it's just a combination of just like circumstance and mechanical stuff.
Right.
So I don't get me wrong. I think 2311 is going to get at least 1 or 2 wins this season. And I think at least one of their drivers will make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I like Corey Heim, in his part-time driving with them.
Yeah. Well, man, he did not have a good Sunday, though.
No, and I wanted to segue into talking about that just briefly, but yeah. What happened again? It was he didn't last. What was it, the first lap or?
No, he was 100 laps in or something like that.
Oh, I was 100. Oh, okay, I was thinking something else.
But yeah, he pretty much. I think. Well, he owned it because he was like, "It's kind of my fault that it happened." But I mean, all he did is I think he tried to throw a block down on Keselowski, and then when he came down, he got unintentionally spun out, and then Hocevar matrix right by him, barely just going by unscathed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he did have a 13th place finish, didn't?
Yeah, his first start a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah, really impressive, man. So I hope to see more of him, to be honest. And
Oh no, we'll see more Corey Hyman Cup. Hopefully,
I'll be
even more
honest,
in the
dude. I
upcoming
could almost
years.
see Heim. I don't know about Herbst, man.
Well, I
Like,
mean, well, like I said, it's his
I
first
know you got to
year.
give it
You
time,
know,
but
I
if
mean,
Corey
shit,
Haim's doing
Austin.
that in his first start,
Well,
I
I mean,
mean,
well, look, Austin Cindric's first handful of years in Cup were not the best. Like, yeah, sure, in his first race, full time in Cup, he won the Daytona 500, but that was just right place, right time. After that,
it's
he was
Daytona, man.
after that, him being the two was kind of just like, why the hell is he in that spot? Like he's not giving us the finishes he needed. But now this season, even a little bit last season too, I mean, he stepped up his game.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't write off Riley Hurst, but yeah, I mean,
No.
I don't know his contract info or anything like that. So like,
Yeah,
I don't know if he
I don't
signed
have
to
the
like a
details
1 year
either.
deal or a multi-year deal. So like, because I mean, I could see him going down to like back to Xfinity or whatever. He was pretty good down there in his last couple of years there. But
Mm-hmm. For sure, man.
but yeah, I don't think so like all right, if Heim makes it to Cup, I can't figure out where he'd go for Toyota because like Joe Gibbs is
That's also
well,
true.
let's face it, Ty Gibbs he's only there because
He's
Granddaddy
only
owns
there
the
because
joint,
Grandpa Joe
you know,
says so.
and Legacy. They're pretty tight with Eric Jones and oh my God, John Hunter Nemechek. And 2311's got
Who have been racing very good, might I add,
oh
lately.
my God, yeah, especially Jones, dude. Didn't he pull off a top five
He's
finish?
underrated right now, man.
I don't know what it is, but like something stepped up in the last handful of weeks with their equipment. So I'm seeing the 42 and the 43 up here from a lot more, which is awesome.
Yeah. Well,
Great
right
that.
from the get go, remember John Hunter Nemechek? I think he had a top 5 at Daytona,
Yeah, yeah,
and we were all sitting there like, really, like, and you're like, obviously you're like, it's Daytona, so like anything can happen, but it was still like
yeah,
for him with his past, like it was impressive.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
Jones for sure, dude. I've been liking what I've been seeing out of him lately.
yeah. Yeah, no. So like all the TGR drivers, all of them are kind of locked in. So like Toyota can't figure out where to put Corey Heim. I can easily see Chevy or Ford, finding a spot and writing the check to get him.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure they would happily pay him a large sum of money to come race with them. But
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Should I go over the top 10, Drew?
Oh, I think we should.
All right, let me just list out the top 10. All right, so obviously, my boy, Ryan Blaney, won the race. Then we had Carson Hocevar in second, Denny Hamlin in third, Joey Logano in fourth, William Byron in fifth, Bubba Wallace with a sixth place finish, Eric Jones in seventh, Kyle Larson in eighth, Tyler Reddick in ninth, and Christopher Bell in 10th. Now, honestly, I was going to talk about this the whole time, but I almost forgot legitimately. But we need to talk about Kyle Larson because of the fact he pitted like freaking 7 or 8 times and still ended up with a top 10, dude. I mean, holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, his day did not start off great.
No, not
So
at all.
him pulling off what he did on Sunday was pretty impressive. But it's also kind of to be expected out of that team because that team's they're like the rally team. Like I don't know,
they can do anything in any situation.
Yeah, they can improvise, adapt, and overcome any situation.
What pisses me off, man, is, and I saw somebody say something about this. I don't know if I bookmarked it. Yeah, I did. So, I mean, this is a Chase fan, but I mean, this makes sense. So our teammate can recover from hitting the wall, avoiding crashes, and being mired back in the field all day to passing us and finishing top 10. Meanwhile, the 9 team can't overcome being anywhere from 10th place on back without tires, strategy, or attrition.
Yeah.
I'm tired, boss. Yeah, I mean, now let's not forget that Chase Elliott is a top 10 driver right now in the standings. So don't let the fact that Larson is able to do all this stuff discourage any of you Chase Elliott fans from the fact that he's still doing pretty good. But I understand your frustration with it. It's the guy, he should be better than racing better than what he is, and I don't know what's going on, if it's equipment or if it's just, I don't know the pit crew rankings, and I wish I could find that because I think that might have something to do with it, but maybe their strategy's off. But I know that this race was one where strategy was huge, man. You think about it's all about like fuel saving, because you remember, I think it was last year, there was a whole debacle about Logano. Like they're like, oh, he's gonna run out of fuel, and then he somehow never did when he should have theoretically.
Yeah, I was thinking about that this weekend, and they had to have found some way to give themselves a little bit more fuel to Carson. I just can't fucking figure out how they did it still. I mean, this is why I'm not an engineer or anything like that, but they had to fucking did something that is legal, because like NASCAR checked the car and it passed post race. I mean, it's still fucking impressive because he survived 6 overtime restarts, which I think is the most for the track. Maybe even for like the sport in general, most overtime restarts in a race. And they still had enough to do a pretty sick burnout afterwards. Yeah. Which only leans into my whole, they found a way to get more fuel in there, because if he was low on fuel, he shouldn't have been able to do that burnout.
No, not for that long as he did it, but yeah, Chase Elliott, I don't know. But speaking of the pit crews, I want to talk about, Ryan Blaney's pit crew, who, as you know, hasn't been very good this year. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They did quite a job, and I also think that Hassler, his crew chief, he was cooking with strategy, man. I mean, they mauled their way into stage 2, like getting the lead, and basically he was the control car, like from the onset, and then like taking those 2 tires near the end of the race. I mean, it was just perfectly timed, man. And sometimes, dude, that's what does it for you, man. It's all about your crew chief, and I just thought it was impressive, man.
Well,
what he was able to do.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it makes you kind of wonder too how many times they had a very similar plan in action, but then something just happened. Be it he's mechanical failure, just caught up in a wreck, or caught up in someone else's wreck. So I don't know. I mean, if they can keep this up, I think they might be a legitimate contender, going into the playoffs. But there's still plenty of weeks left, for that. So we'll see. But
yeah,
it was an impressive race, though.
Sure. Drew, I want to get to some comments that we got on our post.
Yeah, the first time in forever it's happened.
So I tweeted out, saying that we're going to be recording tonight, and if anybody had questions, comments, leave them below, And lo and behold, somebody did. Steven from the Foreign Fuel Podcast, which, by the way, guys, if you listen to this podcast, listen to them too. Great podcast. I love listening to them. I just started listening to them. Really good podcast. But Steven, the co-host from there, asks us, how many drivers currently outside of the playoffs do you think will make it in? And if so, who? Drew, take it away.
So, I think Kosovar.
It's a tough one.
Kosovar will make his way into the playoffs. If he doesn't get a win, I think he can point his way in pretty easily, as long as he can keep up the good finishes.
I totally agree.
Now, the other ones, outside of that, it's a little tricky. I could see maybe Stenhouse pulling something together. I mean, their team's been really good this year, almost kind of like
shockingly good.
I mean, I think it's the best I've ever seen that 47 car.
Yep.
Even back when it was JTG Motorsports, JTG Dougherty Racing, back when they were like the Kroger team. I don't know if it's just like the new bosses or whatever over there at Hyatt Motorsports, but I think they could be another shoe-in to the playoffs. And then honestly, one of the road course bringers, like McDowell, SVG, Allmendinger as well. Like I could see them getting the win out of one of the road courses this year.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Those would be my picks. Everybody outside of that might just luck their way in. Like winning at like Daytona in the summer.
I'm gonna agree with you on Kosovar. Stenhouse.
While we're recording, bro.
Come on.
What the fuck, dude? Why gotta edit that out?
Stenhouse, I don't know about, Drew. You're right. He's been pretty good this year, but is he gonna be good enough to? I don't know if he can win a race, to be honest. I mean, I don't even know if he could point his way in. I think he could be close, but that's just what I think. Priest, really want to say that Priest could get in, and he has been so much better now that he's with RFK. But he's personally, I think, just with the way he's been good, but he's kind of been inconsistent, right?
Yeah.
He needs to win a race. He needs to win in. But as far as, you talk about, the road ringers, I think, and this is my prediction, I think SVG for sure is going to win one of the road courses. I think it'll be like Watkins Glen. I think he'll get his revenge there from losing to Buescher.
You think he's gonna overpass, or he's gonna pass Buescher on the last lap the same way Buescher passed him?
That would be poetic as hell, man.
Dude, that would be hilarious.
That would be awesome.
How he did it. Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know. I want to, we talked about Eric Jones. I want to say that maybe he could end up winning a race, but we only have 7 spots left to lock in, for wins
Yeah.
wise. So I'm just looking at yeah, I mean, there's not much left who are below the cut line right now that I think. Now Kyle Busch, he's been steadily staying in. So I mean, he's in 16th right now, and Priest is right behind him, 2 points behind him. So, and then Hocevar being 4 points behind that last spot. So I mean, it's always a jumble when you try to predict this kind of stuff, because NASCAR is so unpredictable, and especially you factor in. I mean, even if you factor in obviously super speedways, but you factor in road courses. I mean, a lot of the times everyone's betting on SVG, and it's it ends up being Chris freaking Buescher. I mean, it's just you just never know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But great question, Steven. Thank you for that question, buddy.
I hope that satisfied him. If not, I don't know what to do.
It's okay, Drew. Well, I can tell you what, Drew. We had some grass at Nashville, so it's time for good grass or ass grass.
Gets me.
Drew, is great grass. Great grass. They had the awesome Cracker Barrel logo there with the Cracker Barrel 400. From what I found out, I couldn't find anything. I can't seem to find out anything out about what kind of grass they use at these. But just from what I can see and from what I researched, nothing implicitly says it's this, but apparently it's a mix between perennial and annual rye. So I don't know. It just is overseeded. I mean, Nashville gets hot there. They probably have some warm season grass. It's probably just all overseeded just to make it look striped up there and nice and green and lush. So I gave it a good grass grading.
Good job, Nashville. Good grass.
Yeah, man. And yeah, dude, the best trophy, man. The guitar, man.
Oh my god, dude. That Gibson Les Paul
is so sick.
Look, man, I'm a fucking music nerd, dude, and I see that Gibson Les Paul every year. And I just
imagine if you got your hands on one of those, one of the. I mean,
dude, if Ryan Blaney handed me that guitar, he would not get it back. I would rip on out of there before anyone could gift me. Speed of light, me in my wheelchair, burning rubber around the way out of there. Be like, this is my fucking trophy, Dude, I mean, it's so beautiful, and I love Gibson. I mean, my favorite guitar is a Gibson. Shout out to the Hummingbird. Yeah. Sorry I broke you. I'm gonna get you fixed someday, maybe. Definitely. My favorite. I love you. I'm sorry.
Oh,
anyway.
Foot itching.
But yeah, no. I mean, yeah, the Les Paul's easily one of the best trophies you can win in NASCAR right now. Because I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's very iconic, and it's very tied to the area, because Nashville's where Gibson guitars are produced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it gets 2 thumbs way up out of me.
For sure, dude.
Oh yeah.
And it's funny because the truck race, Raja Karuth ended up winning, and he wanted to troll somebody online that was talking shit about him.
Yeah, you told me about this yesterday. Yeah.
So what happened is he had posted that he like Facebook Marketplace photo of a Chevy Camaro with the Lightning McQueen paint scheme or whatnot, or I guess detail, however you want to say it.
That's stickers.
It was Lightning
Yeah,
sure, stickers. Or how about it's a Lightning McQueen Camaro? How about that?
It's just Lightning McQueen.
And he's like, once I get that money, it's over. And somebody commented, well, you're going to have to start finishing better.
Yeah.
And he reposts it with a picture of his thumb, a thumbs up, and a picture of the trophy of the guitar. I'm like, dude, that is so savage. I think Raja won me over as a fan right there.
Oh my god, Raja's great. I mean, that kid, and he's been having a pretty good season so far, and I'm glad that he was able to get a win. The way he did it too. I mean, he held off Corey Heim, who's easily the best truck driver right now.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Friggin' dude, Oliver agrees with me. You can hear him in the background.
Dude, he's running back and forth right now. Did you watch any Xfinity, Drew?
Nah, dude, I don't got CW right now. Yeah. But I did see Allgaier won in the Mayo Missile. Good job.
That car is sweet, man.
Man, I don't know what it is, but the Hellman scheme's always slap. Yeah, thank you.
What was funny
thank you, Oliver. Thank you. He agrees too. He's great.
Dude, he's going crazy right now. Yeah, he's got the zoomies.
Dude, he just got great taste in drivers, dude. That video you sent me from this weekend.
Oh my gosh. If you guys didn't see it, which by the way, I forgot to do this in the beginning of the show, follow us on X at NASholesPod and on TikTok at NASholesPodcast. If you are following us on X, You would see that video, and my son, he freaking was watching in his pack and play, because I keep him in there sometimes, so that he can like end up settling down, going to sleep.
Yeah.
But he was just watching, and
It was so
you could
cute.
see him. Hamlin's chasing down Briscoe, and he's going nuts, dude. Like every time they show like Hamlin chase, he's like, I'm like, oh, dude, he's like telling him to go, man. He's like,
Dude,
he was freaking out. And then Logano too. They showed Logano, and he started screaming a little bit.
Your son just loves all the bad guys in NASCAR, does he? Like, well, in the Cup Series.
Dude,
in the Cup Series.
There's nothing wrong with it as long as he doesn't end up liking, like, I don't know, like Ty Gibbs or something.
That's good.
And that's just a loser mentality.
I mean, I'd have to throw him away if you asked him what his favorite driver was 5 years from now. He's like Ty Gibbs. I'd be like, all right, off to the dumpster with you.
Yeah, and I would allow it.
Yeah, I'd be like, I can't. You're no son of mine. Clearly not mine. Sorry, Alexandria Oliver had to go. His taste in drivers.
We should probably, and man, I'm surprised we didn't set this up pre-show, but it's okay. We should probably go into paint scheme of the week, man.
Oh man, I already got mine.
Do you really? I didn't get a chance to look, man. You go ahead and start talking about yours. I pretty much know, but I
was gonna say, I gotta pull it up here, and then I'll screen share for the pod.
All right, cool.
So I hope you don't mind, but I'm Ross Chastain's car, because like I said earlier, I'm a music nerd. I love guitars, and I love Ross Chastain. Like there.
Dude, it's such a dope car.
Dude,
dude.
I just love it so much. It's so great. Everything about it makes me happy, not hard. Both.
That's a good one, man. That's a good one. And I think for me, I'm looking right now. I'm trying to see, because I really, before the race, I posted our top 4, and Chastain, that was one of them. I do like Blaney's car, and I think maybe that's because I have a shirt and the same die cast as, this. But
well, let me say that Waco's car was a second place for me, though. Not only do I love
their
Greek
one
yogurt,
for sure, dude.
Dude, I love their Greek yogurt. It's delicious. I love it with granola. So I'm trying to be healthy. But the black with the red chrome number, just beautiful.
I'll be honest. I love William Byron's, but you know me. I've always loved the number 20 DeWalt car. But the way they did this one, I just thought it looked so. It's different.
Is this the one?
It's.
I think.
Zoom in a little. Can you zoom in on it?
Yeah, let me do that. Yeah. This is the one that's got the paint splattered on front, almost like he was driving through the dirt or whatever.
Yeah, and then it's got like nails on the back, I think, or something, like on
the
quarter panel.
So. I don't know. I can't tell without like looking like a boomer.
I don't know. I really like that one, dude. But honorable mention the 24, man.
Dude, I
wish they had a better picture of that hood.
I
hated that car all night, dude. That thing was.
Well, no, it's not that I don't hate the paint scheme.
Oh, the picture.
Well, no, not even that. It's just the blank spot right here. It's like, come on, don't you think you could have done your sponsor a solid?
Okay, and also, can we just not have the numbers on the door? Why does it have to be all the way to the? You know what I'm saying? Like that is. I hate that.
They moved the number forward so you'd have more space to advertise, and clearly that's working. So Yeah, Look at Freightliner, man. Well, outside the 17, I don't really think so. Well, we'll see here.
I love the 54, the interstate battery. I've always loved that one, but that's just a given.
Well, yeah. Too bad it had to be driven by Ty Gibbs this weekend. Man, I don't know. Yeah, I think outside the 17, I don't really have a.
Wasn't a whole lot, man.
I know. This is probably.
I know you love that Tootsie's car.
Oh, dude, Tootsie's always slaps, but like, I can't really say that's the best team because they also run that multiple times a year, But
yeah.
But it's still a great team. I am a sucker for purple, even though that's kind of a. I'm more of a dark purple, but anyways.
I get you.
Yeah.
Like a royal purple.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Screen share stuff.
Awesome, man.
But yeah, no, I know this upcoming weekend. I think Ziegler. I don't know how to pronounce the name on Horsebar's car.
Ziegler, I think it's Ziegler.
Dolph
Ziggler.
Ziggler, WWE superstar, performer. Anyways, it's not important. They're going to be running like this black and gold scheme because I think it was like the 40th or 50th anniversary.
50th anniversary of Ziggler.
That one's going to be a tough paint scheme to beat. Gold and
Well, it's
black.
cool because I saw
it hits.
the guy who created it retweeted it. He's like I actually created this scheme when I worked for Spire before I left a couple weeks ago. So like that.
Wait, why did he leave? Dude, did he leave or was he told to leave? Now I just want to know.
Well, see, that's what I don't know. But anyways, so that's how I saw it. It popped up that way, and I was looking at it, and like I commented on it. I'm like, this definitely is going to be in running for paint scheme of the week next week.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one to beat. It's going to be a tough one.
But did you see Bush's?
Kyle Busch? Is he running another quick trip car?
No.
He's
got the.
I love quick trip.
MGM, but it has the Michigan on it, and it's got the. It looks really cool. When you get a chance, go find that thing, man. But.
Oh man, you're telling me there's gonna be 2 gold and black vehicles?
But I think hosts of ours, it'll look better.
I don't know. I mean, we shall see. I mean, the BetMGM ones are.
I've always liked the BetMGM ones.
Yeah. But
they're just a clean, good look.
But I don't know, that gold and black 77. It's fresh. It's crisp. It's delectable.
I can never hate a gold car. I'm telling you that right now. If I see a gold car, dude,
remember Josh?
It's in my top 5 immediately.
Remember last year when Josh Berry was driving the 4 car and he had that gold and black Mobil 1 car?
Oh, dude, that was so perfect.
That was so, dude, and the way they had that flywheel on the side, just greatness.
Cash money, brother.
But anyways, we should probably go to our point standings.
Oh, well, before we do that, I'm going to do a new segment. It's not really new.
Are you just delaying the inevitable?
Yes, I am, Drew. I'm not happy. I'm not particularly happy about it.
Oh, man.
So, news and notes, Drew.
Oh, yeah, new segment.
I know we tend to, we only record one time a week, so it's important maybe sometimes that we touch on some of the things going on in NASCAR. So, in the first bit of news,
Tuesday the 3rd of the year 2025, June 3rd?
Yes.
June 3rd, yeah.
The year of our Lord. Rockingham Speedway is listed for sale weeks after NASCAR return. So, essentially what happened here is the owner who purchased it back in 2018, Dan Lovenheim's, he purchased it for $2.8 million. And this is the funny part. He built his wealth owning and operating nightclubs in Raleigh, but he said the time is right to pass the baton to someone who can take it farther than we can. So,
is that his nice way of saying this shit's too expensive?
Honestly, dude, I kind of think so because if you read into this article here, it says former Governor Roy Cooper directed $9 million in pandemic recovery spending to the track for infrastructure upgrades in 2021. In 2022, the track was repaid for $3.5 million. Other upgrades to the infield buildings and installation of more safer barriers around the track brought the track up to standards for NASCAR's 2 developmental series. So that's funny you say that. I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah, I mean,
I think they just can't afford to keep it going.
Probably, or he's just like, oh, this is gonna burn a massive hole in my wallet. I'm out. Yeah, no, I mean, didn't he also say though, like he's hoping that someone can buy it and upgrade it to the point where the Cup Series can come back though?
Well, they want the Cup Series back there is kind of what it seems like. I think they just. I wonder if now I'm just thinking about this. Do the tracks have to raise money for the purse? Do they have to have the money for the purse?
Well, that's a good question.
So what could it be? He couldn't afford to keep doing that.
Well, okay. Well, usually a race has a sponsor. So I think if a sponsor's got their name on the race, like for instance Cracker Barrel, I'm almost positive they sunk in a good chunk of change, to go towards the race purse. But
yeah. Well, also Cracker Barrel is kind of going down under, but
that sucks. I've never been to one.
They're not doing well, Drew. I can tell you that from what the last I heard.
Bro. Damn it. As long as Waffle House is
But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I would think it'd have to be a combination of the sponsor, the track, and NASCAR itself. Like, it's got to be the 3 of those are responsible for it. Because, the sponsor's money that's put into it is just for their rights to be on the name, So it's probably 1 or 2 million right there. And then I think NASCAR and the track would then be responsible for the other half. I don't know for certain, though. That's actually a really good question. And I really wish people inside the sport of NASCAR would stop ignoring our messages. Just fucking notice us.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so this is crazy, Drew. So what is this? Blah blah blah. The track showed an economic impact of nearly 40 million from that weekend, and I think it's talking about the weekend where they had the truck and the Xfinity there.
Oh, Rockingham or Nashville?
Yeah,
Okay.
Rockingham. More counties' share of that was more than 28 million, of which lodging was the largest part. The weekend sold 40,000 tickets for the 2-day event, along with Saturday's sellout. The event also employed 500 workers each day. Now here's where we kind of get into the more of the nitty-gritty details. According to Richmond County tax records, the track and the 253 acres the track sits on has a tax value of 4.96 million.
Yeah.
And then it also
Yeah.
says here, so that may be a rough estimate of what it's going to cost, but it's obviously probably going to be probably closer to 7 million maybe.
Who could be? I don't know. I'm
The
not
listing
too
also
financially smart.
says the track generates 1.6 million yearly in revenue. So,
And so I guess that would be
obviously they have other things in NASCAR there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably from other events they hold there as well. It's like I don't think a racetrack can be sustained just off 1 or 2 races from NASCAR there.
Yeah. So I don't know, Drew.
Keep the lights on somehow, I guess.
Do you want to partner up with a company? Let's go buy Rockingham, bro.
Hey, Hoist, you want to go halvesies on Rockingham? Oh, dude.
I'll chip in 15,000.
Oh man, so expensive, man. Holy shit. I don't know. Part of me really.
Imagine just being a part owner though, like you were just you gave them money, then they let you go to the track, they fly you down.
They'd better fly my ass down there, dude.
Yeah.
I own the place. You know how much I'd see how.
Private ass jet.
Yo, dude, I'm not good with money, but that's a lot of fucking change. I'm sure you can give me a private jet with like a wheelchair lift on it or something. Fuck, I don't care. I'll go in the cargo hold of a 747. I don't give a shit. If I can, as long as I get down there in one piece. Oh, I don't give a fuck if it gets cold in the luggage compartment. I got a snuggie. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't have a snuggie.
But dude, in all honesty though, Drew, the Cup Series needs to come back there, man. It's a great track, dude.
Well, I'm not going to disagree with you there, but the problem is you're bringing back all these tracks. It means one race is going to have to get cut. And then that's the next question. What race do we cut?
Which should be Roval.
Well, no, because, no, don't get me wrong. Roval should go, but I want the regular Charlotte Oval to take its spot. So I can't say
not
that.
Replay. I get you.
Yeah,
I get you.
Now I don't think Chicago's going to host any more races after this summer, so you could probably say that would be a good slot. But I mean, I've heard rumblings that NASCAR's in talks with other cities about holding.
Well, they've been talking about this for years.
Yeah, so I forget it. It was either San Diego or San Francisco. I don't know. I heard this a couple of weeks ago, and it was like I only heard it one place. I don't even remember which. Yeah, so I know the rumor there, though, is we'll probably get a different street race somewhere else, which is honestly fine. I mean, the Cup Series has bad luck when they come to Chicago. It always fucking rains when they're here. Well, and my neck of the country. I don't know. I mean, it's a tough decision,
Honestly, dude, they should just get cut right back at Chicagoland Speedway or whatever.
Well, that's another track that people want to go back to, but then that's the same thing. I mean, like, what track do we cut to go back there?
Well, I say you cut the street course and just have that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, think about it, the street course though.
Then you got to add another street course though. You still got to have it. I mean, and I know they're doing the Mexico City.
Yeah, and I know NASCAR wants to kind of start doing more international races. Well, they say international, but it's more like transcontinental in this case, because they were eyeing up Mexico City, and then I want to say it was Toronto. Or maybe
Toronto would be sweet.
I know they have a road course up in Toronto that Truck Series used to run at. But there's also there's like a track that's it's an exact copy of Indy up in Canada, and I can't remember exactly where it's at, but I know that one's also a track that people want to see NASCAR come to. I don't know if it'll be truck and Xfinity or what. NASCAR wants to start doing races, outside the United States to try and help grow the sport. We've said in the past the sport's in a upward trajectory right now. I mean, we're seeing more and more sponsors coming into the sport.
Right, if you look at the TV ratings, they're gaining viewership every year.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, and if it's not through TV viewership, it's, social media, is helping the sport immensely right now, especially because now you got teams like RFK that really lean heavily into the social media side, where they, they go out of their way to do like skits and whatnot, even though they are pretty corny. Like they're entertaining still. Like the Oikos commercial. I sent you that like a day or two ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, where the dude drinks the protein
He just
shake.
keeps
And,
flipping, the Jackman keeps flipping the car.
oh no, it's not even the Jackman. It's just like some regular schmuck with like no muscles, and he drinks the Oikos protein shake, and he flips the car with one yank of the jack. Like,
and then Priest, Busher, and Keselowski
yeah,
are there like,
how's
this
the new
is
Jackman
dangerous.
doing? Like, but I don't know. I mean, one could also think too. I mean, what would stop NASCAR from adding a race or two to the schedule? So go from like 36 to 38, let's say. I mean,
would there be less playoff races then?
you could probably get away with not changing the playoffs, and like, so all right, so this is where it gets a little hairy though, is because like NASCAR usually ends around the beginning of November, minus last year or maybe the year prior, whenever it was last year when we had the Olympics, it finished in the middle November.
Oh yeah, it went a little
so
later.
like if we every year added a couple weekends and we finished mid-November, that really only gives the off season to, so it'd be December, January, February. It's only 3 months, and like that's already a short span of time. So you'd be cutting into that. I don't know.
And I was just thinking, you could cut the Clash and then just have Daytona earlier, and then I realized Super Bowl. They're not gonna put.
Yeah,
they're not gonna.
Yeah.
They have to work around that. Well, you know what? They could do a race before the Super Bowl, right?
Nah.
The Sunday before the Super Bowl Sunday. But it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Well,
but anyways,
yeah, I don't
want to get too deep in the weeds on all this, but yeah. Like Rockingham's for sale. So if you guys are listening, and I don't know if anyone that would listen to us would have enough money to do that, but do that.
Elon Musk listens to us because he thinks we suck.
Just put Nasholes advertisement all around the track, okay? And
oh my god, dude.
Yeah, just fly us down there.
Dude, that'd be sick.
Well, me up, you down. I mean, actually, I could probably just drive there. But anyways, Drew, Speedway Motorsports today. This is from today. Will announce that Echo Park Automotive has bought naming rights to Atlanta Motor Speedway in a 7-year deal involving 2 companies within the Smith family's purview. So it will now be Echo Park Speedway.
That's good. I mean, Charlotte Motor Speedway was Lowe's Motor Speedway for the longest time. So
right.
It's good that we're getting we got one track, I think officially now, that's got a brand name for the track itself, which is it's a step in the right direction, I think.
I'm gonna be honest, dude. I hate it because I just like the classic Atlanta Motor Speedway. I think after a while I get used to it. But you got all these people commenting, "I'm not calling it that."
Yeah, they are not.
That's like how I was. That's how I was when Miller Park switched to American Family Field. I'm like, I'm not calling it that. And then I ended up calling it that, and now I call it the AmFam Clam because their stadium looks like a clam.
Damn, dude. I love that. AmFam Clam.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Dude, man, that just kind of makes you wonder what other tracks might possibly do that. I think, like, there's some tracks that you couldn't change the name of it. So, like, Daytona and Talladega off the board already. Because, like, you
absolutely.
I mean, those are 2 elder statesmen.
If you do that,
tracks,
like, dude, like Dale Earnhardt's gonna come from the grave and like kill you. You
know how many men died at Daytona? You can't have it be the Hooters Daytona International Speedway. Oh no, Hooters went under. Bed Bath & Beyond, nope, they went under. Mace, nope.
They also say Talladega is cursed.
Well, yeah, the rumor is that
because it's built on an Indian burial ground
or
whatever.
Indigenous people's burial ground. I'm kidding. It's an Indian burial ground. Yeah. Yeah. What are we, lame? Yeah. But anyways.
But yeah, that's all I got for the news, Drew. I think that's cool, man. Like, I think you're right. In the grand scheme of things, I don't like it, but
it'll grow on you like the American family.
It also is a step in the right direction, like you say, dude, because like this is funding the track, like literally, like. And this dude, who is it? What's his name? Marcus Smart?
Marcus Smith?
The guy, or Smith.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know why I said Smart. Like, I don't know. I mean, they're still overseeing it. It's not like, but like this just gives more money to it. So like we can have better improvements and whatnot of the tracks.
Hopefully. Yeah. I mean, well, hopefully it's put more, well, okay. If there's like parts where the fan experience needs to get worked on, clearly put it to that. But if there's any ways that they can somehow make the racing there even better, definitely put it towards. I don't know what all also goes into that. when they reconfigured the track, that was a lot of money. So I don't know what else they could really do to improve the racing there. The racing's pretty good there for the most part.
Yeah, yeah, I love Atlanta.
But yeah, I mean, if they can find a way to make it better, I think they should do it. And just get everybody even more hyped for Echo Park Speedway. It's going to take a while for me to get used to. I will admit that. I'm probably still going to call it Atlanta
It's gonna be
for a
tough.
few years. Yeah, I think once I hear the broadcasters keep calling it
Echo Park Speedway in Atlanta.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Well, Drew, it is now for the time that I most it's time for the time that I most regret, guys. As you know, we've been keeping track. Drew and I have been keeping track. We pick a driver every week. We do it before qualifying because that's more fair, and then we cannot pick based on qualifying. And the points are based on however the driver finishes. If he finishes first, he gets like 38 points, or how many ever drivers there are. That's kind of the max points. So if there's 40 drivers, you get 40 points. Anyways, Drew picked Chastain, finished 11th. I picked Priest. He finished 19th, I believe. So Drew gets 28 points. I get 20. Drew is now up 311 to 280. He's still kicking my ass. I'm gonna need a good result at Michigan. Drew, we got a race at Michigan. We got two Michigan drivers, actually, Eric Jones and Hocevar. So keep that in mind.
That's right, Lakes Brethren.
Tyler Reddick wins this race last year.
That's right. In the McDonald's car.
And then
he broke the curse.
Oh, and speaking of curses, I never mentioned this. Damn it! I'm kind of pissed. I need to say it, dude, or I'll be thinking about it all night. The Menards curse is finally over. It had been 1,379 days since Menards had been in victory lane. So
that long?
Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
Crazy,
dude, I just remembered, I was about to be like, well, Blaney won the championship with them, but he didn't win that race. He took second.
Right, exactly. Dude.
Holy shit. That long? Hey.
Yes, sir.
Was it back when he won at Daytona in 21? I think that's the last time I remember a Menards team in victory lane.
Let's see the comments here.
Ben, I think the car that your parents gifted you was the car he won in.
And to clarify, it was for Blaney, because obviously Cindric won this year in the Menards car.
He?
But yeah, he won with the quicker state Menards.
Yeah, that's right. I knew that seemed a little different, but
to clarify, just for Blaney.
Oh, he won Daytona in the discount tire car.
Oh.
All right. Anyways, so
Talladega Fall Race. That's the last time that he won.
1,000 days ago. God.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Right.
Anyways, I had to say that, brother.
Shut up.
And then maybe I'll say another thing, I don't know, but make your pick, dude. If you want me to, I got the FRCS Pro up. So if you want me to pull up anything and ask me,
dude, I'm going Hocevar.
Before you make your pick.
I'm going Hocevar all the way.
Bitch.
Dude.
Well, now you're gonna have to make me think, dude. You jackass.
What can I say? I am what I eat. I like donkeys. They're tasty.
Oh, Drew, I am struggling. I am struggling to know who I should pick here. I need to plug in my laptop or this will die and we will not have the episode. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to go look at one more thing. I want to look at the results from... You know what, dude? I am going to go with a guy that I've gone with before, I think. Let me check. How many times have I gone with this guy? One? No, just one, I think. I'm going to go with him again. I haven't gone with this guy since Talladega. I'm going to go with Brad Keselowski.
Ooh. Hey, another Michigan native, actually.
Oh, I actually didn't know that. I wasn't thinking of it that way. I'm just thinking it's right in Ford's backyard. You know, he drives Ford.
Yeah. Well, I think Jack Roush is also from Michigan as well, which is why I think he's still married to Ford. I don't know. There might be a more in-depth history with that, but I can't believe we didn't mention him when we were talking Michigan drivers. It's the only Michigan driver with a championship that I can think of right now. Mm-hmm. There might be a couple others,
but yeah, dude, I'm looking at it, and a Ford car has won 9 of the last 10 races here, man.
Oh my God, that's right. Yeah, Reddick broke the Ford win streak last year.
Yeah.
Damn, he broke so many barriers. Good for him. Breaking down barriers, little white man. Good for him. Yeah. We don't get many barriers to break, and he broke 2 of them.
I'm gonna stick with my pick though, but Drew, I tell you what, this is one thing is, I don't know why, man. No, I'm not gonna say it. I don't have a feeling, but Eric Jones, I think he could get. I'm not gonna say he's gonna win, or that he could win. I'm just gonna say he's gonna have a good race.
How great would it be if all the Michigan natives finished top 5?
That would be freaking funny, dude.
Dude, to finish 1, 2, 3. That'd be beautiful. That'd be
Yes,
beautiful.
dude.
Anyways,
I'm looking forward to Michigan.
it's always a good race.
This was the Michigan paint scheme. That's that diecast I have. He had this car. Or actually, 2021 race winner. This is the box. I have it on my shelf. I know I probably shouldn't do that. I probably should keep it in here and wait till Blaney can sign it.
Yeah, dude, you just gotta wait till he shows up to like a Walmart body armor or something like that.
Yeah, Walmart at down here, like when they're coming to Darlington.
Yeah, dude, you always gotta
man,
keep your eyes peeled, man. You never know when they'll be in your backyard, literally.
Yeah, because even if I can't go to the race, I gotta meet right behind
him. Dude, you also gotta, like, when Oliver gets a few years older and he like establishes who he wants to meet, you gotta have him meet that driver.
Absolutely, I would. Even
if it's Ty Gibbs, you just
even if it's Ty Gibbs, buddy.
Even if you have to get blackout
or Alex Bowman.
We're not talking about Alex Bowman this episode. Anyway,
you guys can follow us on X to understand why.
Don't check into that. It's fucking dumb.
Don't just forget about it.
God damn it, Ben.
But do follow us on X at Nasholes Pod.
Yeah, follow us on X.
You can cut that part
out. Yeah, I'm keeping it in. I barely edit this.
Nah, screw it.
The AI deems it's unworthy.
Yeah. I'm excited for Michigan, Drew. I got nothing else, man. We probably forgot so much, but we've been talking so long.
Yeah, no. Michigan's probably going to be a great race. We should probably plug TikTok now as well. Yeah.
Yep. NASholesPodcast. We're gonna have clips of the show on there probably.
I uploaded one
just for your entertainment.
Yeah, I uploaded one clip from last episode. It's got like 2 likes, so we're kind of a big deal now.
Yeah, so come on, guys, please follow us over there. If you're watching on YouTube, we love that. Thank you so much. Yeah. Please subscribe.
For the love of God, subscribe.
Spotify, follow, 5 stars, all the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, we love X. We love interacting. We would love to interact with you guys. That's why I love that I got the comment from that my boy Steven over at Foreign Fuel.
It's nice to be noticed for once.
Right, it's nice to be noticed.
They like us. They really like us.
Yeah, guys, we'll see you after Michigan, and we'll see if maybe I can frickin' jump in the points standing against Drew. Otherwise, I'm going to frickin' die.
Fuck. Bye, Mom.
Bye, Dad.